Well, happy International Fight Week from myself and middleweight champion of the world, Israel Adesanya, who is quite literally off the plane from New Zealand. We needed to get some pampering done because we can't be walking around Las Vegas during IFW looking anything less than 100%. So we're gonna have a little chat, get our nails done, and just catch up on some things. So Izzy, thanks so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you for having me.
How was your travel?
Good. I've had better, but this was good. Easy to just teleport when you sleep and just wake up. But yeah, it was good.
So probably the most important question that I'm going to ask you today is, what are we doing with our nails?
I normally just get drip tips, which people call French tips, but they weren't made in France. So I renamed them drip tips.
Okay.
And then mine are kind of chlorry at the moment, so I just want to get that done and then try something new with the magnetic metallic pinky. Yeah.
Do you mind if I copy the drip tips?
Go hard.
Alrighty, because there's not going to be another chance where you get to pick out my nails, so I figured we got to do it. We got to do it. Well, we'll get started on these nails, and you've been really busy since we saw you last in Miami. We talked after the fight, and you had said, you know, this was a business trip.
Yeah.
When did the business trip end, and when were you able to actually enjoy all of the hard work that went into that victory?
After I left the building in Miami, we went from the center straight to the club for the after party, get paid, and I overstayed. But as soon as I asked him, like, when is my time up? And he's like, oh, it's been up for about 40 minutes. I was like, right, let's bounce. Because it was packed in there. It was hard to move, but it was fun. It was fun, yeah. It was something that was an iconic night.
And when you returned home, did you take a little bit of time off, or was it just kind of straight into the next thing?
I took some time off for myself, just to hang with family, time off just to chill with myself, reflect over the accomplishment, the victory. And then I also helped my teammates get their work done. But yeah, I took time off to myself though, and I've been places since. I can't even, like, there wasn't really a victory tour, but I had like business to attend to in a few different countries, so I've been around.
Yeah, and we saw the premiere of Stylebender. Did you get to go to Tribeca for the premiere?
I was there in New York, and that was cool. That was awesome, and that was a moment I'll never forget. It was a well-received doco. Seeing everyone watching in the cinema for the first time, because I'm a very raw person. I like keep it real. But I've never been as honest as I was on this film, on camera, and no one's ever seen me in this kind of light. So it kind of made me feel just like naked, like vulnerable, you know? So that was the thing I was kind of like, but then again, there's times in your life where you kind of have to like just bare it to everybody and just show them like, this is what happens, this is part of me, and deal with it. So it was well received. A lot of people could relate. And yeah, I can't wait till people see it.
Well, we think we see a lot of your life. We see maybe some of the biggest moments.
The bits I want to let you see.
Yeah, of course. But like, when you're in the Octagon, we see, 25 minutes or less of, just a small part of the journey and all of the work that goes into it. So showing the world all of the other sides of you, that's a big thing. Yeah. Why did you decide, okay, like maybe it's time for me to tell my life story?
I don't know, the timing just felt right, but also it just fell into place. I've always had the idea to do a documentary on my life. I've always had that idea when I was coming up, like when I make it, like, I'm gonna tell my story in this way and that way. But yeah, just having the right people to do the documentary with, they, example, Zoe, the director, the way she took the story and told it was unlike any other documentary for sports. Like, anyone, your mom could watch this and she might not even be a fan of MMA and still like get something from it. It shows a deeper dive into the mind of someone like me, someone who is a high achiever in their field and the art of combat, and we're not just, contrary to popular belief, just meatheads or jocks, like he's a guy who actually, has a deeper side to him.
When you watched it, were there moments throughout the time that was covered where you learned something or you noticed something about yourself watching the documentary that you didn't realize at that time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I try my best.
That's a good question. Things I noticed about myself. Yes, actually, yes. There was a couple where seeing yourself on screen, seeing how you come across, there's certain moments. There's one past halfway in the film where I'm in the car, I'm ranting. I don't want to say about what. It's quite a heavily hearted rant. And yeah, seeing it on screen, I was just like, I cringed because it's me, but even I caught myself in the moment being like, right now I need to go chill because I'm not my best self right now. And again, the world's gonna see that, so it's like, we all go through it. We've all had our moments, so I was just like, it just happens to be on screen, on the big screen. And now, again, the world's gonna see it, so I'm prepared for it. But yeah, I had moments.
Do we think you'll have a premiere closer to home?
Yeah, we're gonna do one. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do one in NZ, maybe late August. So it kind of like leads into the next fight, you know, a little bit more eyes on the project as the next fight comes into fruition. So yeah, we will.
Perfect timing leading up to UFC 293 in Sydney.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be something.
I wonder who I'd be fighting.
But before we get into that, I just wanted to do some rapid fire, non-fighting questions. Obviously, we have to start with anime because we can't not talk about it.
We always do.
We can't not. So, biggest question that's been lingering in my mind is what arc are we in right now of your life?
Ooh. Let me see. What arc are we in? That's a good question. How would I even describe this arc? So my last fight leading up to it, I wasn't like a hero or a villain. I just kind of disregarded everything. I was just like, this is about me. I was selfish. Now, after I've overcome that and what I had to go through from the first fight, second fight, third fight, to then get that win, I feel like I'm in my Hokage arc almost. Like getting my belt back, you know, after losing it. Yeah, like a redemption arc. And then now I'm on the path again to realizing my destiny as the avatar of this game.
So if you could create a corner from any characters, but you only get 3, you get your 2 main and your bucket.
Ooh,
Who's your corner?
I like these. Okay, corner from any characters. Goku came to mind first. See, it's easy to just say Goku, Naruto, and Aang, but actually, scratch Goku. Let me go. Corner, fight, Rock Lee first.
I was hoping you would say that. I'm
Rock
not gonna
Lee
lie, I was
first.
sitting here like.
Yeah, my bad. No, but instantly, like, you know, I was like, ooh, all the name stuff. I was like, nah, let me think strategically. In a fight, Rock Lee, taijutsu specialist, have to. Okay. Secondly, where would I need? Shikamaru.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, brains, IQ,
Yes.
smart. So who knows? Ooh, and also I'm thinking one more. I want to say L. I'm getting goosebumps. I was gonna say L, but I don't know. Let me think.
The third's your bucket. So like they're important because they're behind the fence.
Okay.
It's the one behind the fence that's talking in your ear when your other 2 corners are in front of you in between rounds.
Tough.
Yeah.
Seismic activity. She can feel what's happening. Depends what if it's in the cage, she won't be able to see shit though. Depends where it's at. If it's like just on land, tough. Yeah, but okay, in the cage.
Yeah, because you have the crowd.
Yeah, true.
All the
okay, never
noise.
mind. Okay, I'll scratch that. One more. Let me think. You know what? Sasuke.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight to the point.
Okay.
He'll tell you how it is.
Have you ever been to Japan?
So that's number 1 country I have to visit. Like Japan, Amsterdam, and there's a few other places. But Japan is like, I tried. When history presents itself to you, you have to take it. So I had the silver fight present itself. And I had this plan because I just fought how many times in 1 year. And I was like, man, I think it was 4 times at the time. I was like, I just want to fucking break. I just want to chill for a little bit. But then the fight was presented and I was like, look, I have to take this fight. I just had a word to myself. I was like, I have to take this fight because of history. Fuck Amsterdam and wherever else, Japan will still be there. Lo and behold, COVID happened, so But Japan has always been at the top of my list. The culture, I know I'll love Japan because the people who have visited, they all tell me, bro, it's all about you. And I know they'll love me as well because of how fighting culture is so tied in with Japanese culture and martial arts and what, you know, MMA has done in Japan as well and still does in Japan. And I just feel like the people, I would really like to meet some Japanese fans because when I meet them in real life, like out here, they're the most sweetest, polite people. So I feel like the culture over there, they'll be the same as well.
Is this your first IFW not fighting on the card?
I want to say yes and no, but I fought on a tough finale with Tavares. I realized yesterday it's the second time, 2 years in a row, that the Anzacs have headlined, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm gonna have fun and face up with whoever in the cage.
Just in the interest of keeping the flow of our wonderful conversation, what's your prediction?
If I'm a betting man, it's probably not who I'll put my money on, but I am a betting man, and I'm betting more than money, so Dricus first round knockout, yeah.
While we're on the topic of 290 and Rob and Dricus, this is a big fight, but bigger than that, main event, Alexander Volkanovski looking to unify the division. You and Volk share a really beautiful relationship from what we see. I imagine you spent a little bit of time here and there with him between Perth and now. What were some interesting notes about his own character development that I'm sure he underwent after that Islam loss?
Staying true to who he is. Staying true to who he is as a champion, as a great. Staying true to himself. It's deeper than that. I don't know how to put it in words. As a fighter, I understand it because to lose like that on a stage like that, when you feel like you won and get robbed of your moment and still hold your head high and not throw your toys, you know, sourpuss, all that. Yeah, his character showed. His character showed, and the man that he is, past fighting showed. He's an inspirational dude, man. He's an inspirational dude. Like, just as a human being, but as a fighter, I look every time. It's like, just a homie, man. He's get homies that inspire you. Yeah, that actually inspire you to do better and be great.
All right, well, we're going to get our nails finished, but you guys make sure that you don't miss UFC 290. Alexander Volkanovski looking to unify the division against Yair Rodriguez. And, of course, Robert Whittaker, Dricus du Plessis, a huge fight with massive implications in the middleweight division. Possibly the next challenger for this man right here. Izzy, thanks so much for your time.
Oh, as always.
We're usually fist bump people.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fuck the nails up, so I was like,